Hello, everyone. My name is Shannon, and it is great to have you here listening today, astutely paying attention. The question I am considering is since many of us have a brain injury disrupting our conscious thoughts, shouldn't we be helping to improve the mind to see? Providing additional resources to clarify and assist. Uh, I am ultimately going to give some necessary observations about using the power of the mind, from directing our thinking and creating an energy within to the appreciation of the subconscious mind and ensuring we have positive thoughts. I'll be suggesting here today what may be useful to help our minds succeed in life. As everyone is aware, the day passes with the consumption of energy. It's clear the human body needs energy in order to function at all. Energy defines us both physically by the way we can feel it or produce it, but it also defines us metaphorically by how our mind can observe it in and around one another, how it can be captured in another person's essence, and we make that into our own. Now, our day rises and falls with the 24-hour flashlight of alerts, which is a different type of energy from the outside world. In our phones and other devices, TV platforms, or just the electronic lights, sustaining a focus, grasping the admittance of energy. So I'm wondering now, how can we control this feeling and break it down? How can we make outside energy our own? I'll get back to that. Personally, I love the news. I am mesmerized by the ability of journalists to capture stories that help us see to believe, especially from newspapers like the Globe and Mail. Their writing is sensational, but I appreciate so much the expansiveness of the CBC and their ability to find interest towards the community. The CBC is an alert in everything, from radio broadcast or on a television or a device like an iPad with podcasts. They present opportunities to Canadians and abroad about Canada. If we didn't pay any attention to the news, our lives would not understand how the world is operating around us. I don't think we should look at the news as something that tells us of problems in the world, but it is offering a search to recognize the energy inside of learned stimulants around us. So a book I read changed my thinking about energy. Well, it happened. I had that old saying in my head. We only use something like 5 to 10% of our brain. I don't know who first said that, but it's not attributed to anyone according to Google. So I started reading one of the recommended books about and I started reading one and I read that the 5 to 10% is what's on movement in your brain, on things like MRI scans and MRI imaging and whatnot. Everything in our brain is used, but there's the power of an unconscious edge or unconscious mind directing our energy towards our own collective thoughts. So it was incredible. I had to buy this book called The Unconscious Mind, Unconscious Edge, and read it. Um, and some might find interesting, but it's not really for the brain injury experiences. But I appreciate some of the side comments, such as, well, he's talking about the unconscious mind. Near the beginning, on page 17, he says, its primary function is to keep you safe. So his reason for how our body may react to stress is because the unconscious mind fears a sense of danger exists. If we don't allow ourselves to acknowledge what is happening or deliberately follow the unconscious mind by relaxing, a lot will stay the same and become a habit of being or conscious of right. This is one perspective. And also, the best way to control and manage any insights, whatever you choose, is through a positive momentum. There's actually a positive thinking theory from the mid 20th century to let us know that it's true. Thinking positively does, in fact, lead to a better life. Healthier, perhaps, one with more resilience and better outcomes. You, everyone listening, has the power to take any situation and make it positive. To look at this idea or the purpose of your effort and decide how the bigger picture means something in your life. So I'll give you a quick example. What is going on in the world today? Homelessness, starvation, floods, war. These are pretty massive issues that harness grave concern. Choose anything that's devastating. Starvation for families, citizens around territories of war. Starvation is a reality. In Sudan, the Gaza Strip currently, notice it, but do not become anxious or depressed. If you understandably want to help out, for God's sake, do do so. But also be thankful. Be thankful your tummy is full. being thankful you're making something positive. So it's just the defining attention build up that a conscious or an unconscious release. An awareness of a positive release. So, positive thinking is another way to regain control. To recap, I looked at working with stimulation from energy sources, allowing them. Don't be shocked about the intrusion of the unconscious, and the unconscious mind needs to relax. Welcome, welcome. Uh, okay. Finally, using positive thinking theory will help to lead to a more controlled life. Nobody here made the decision to be a person, but it must be our intention to lead a fulfilling life. Thank you.